Autophiles, that's the Mini Cooper SE electric, just launched a couple of months ago. I only have it for a few more minutes, so I'm going to give you a very quick likes and dislikes. Let's go inside. The first thing I like is this OLED display. It's about 9.4 inches, I think. I'll put the measurement here. But yeah, it's really slick, super thin, and it's completely circular, you know. Like, when have you seen that in a car? And the only flat spot is at the bottom here, where presumably they have some drivers or something. But yeah, that's very cool. Never seen anything like it. But what I disliked is that when you use Apple CarPlay, essentially Apple CarPlay comes out as a little cutout in the center. Kind of ruins some of the digital experiences that they obviously spent a lot of time planning out and designing and all that. So I'll just give you an example. And this is something I don't like or dislike. I just think it's a little bit tacky. Yeah, essentially you can go through all these modes and they'll pop up a different kind of speedo, a different kind of setting, even a different kind of heads-up display, depending on the mode. But the issue is when you go into CarPlay, it basically takes everything away. And yeah, it's cool and all, they've got so many different styles, but essentially every time you go back to CarPlay, it just disappears. You know, all of that goes back. It doesn't matter what mode you're in, you know, everything changes, except when you go in CarPlay, it just goes back to that. Yeah, I don't think I like it as a whole, but they definitely put some effort into designing some different aesthetic looks for the car. It's like even the sound design changes when you go into different modes. So like in this classic mode, I can hear a little sound coming. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something coming from the speakers. And in all these different modes, yeah, you get different sound signatures, different experiences lah. That's what the whole thing is about. In my experience, it doesn't really change the core driving behavior that much. It still drives almost about the same. But again, to that, because there's something I dislike, and that is the throttle feels. So what I don't like about that is that the regen braking in drive mode is adaptive by default. That means that if I'm driving on one lane here and there's a car in front of me, the system basically says, okay, there's a car in front of you, let's do a lot of regen. In case that guy slows down, your car right now with zero throttle is also going to slow down. When there's no car in front of you at all, like you're on a highway stretch, you let go of the throttle and the Mini just coasts. You know, it doesn't lose any momentum. It's trying to keep the car as efficient as possible. So in theory, that sounds really good. But in practice, I really don't like it. So let's say I'm in the right lane, there's a car in front of me, and this lane is clear, and there's a junction coming up. So this car obviously wants to U-turn. Well, meanwhile, I go on this lane and I want to turn right, not U-turn. When I'm here with this car, the throttle, when it's off, it's adaptive. So it says there's a car in front, maximum brake regen. So I go to this lane, and without any throttle input, it has changed from maximum regen to now coasting. So with zero throttle input and zero brake input, the car has gone from wanting to slow down a lot to wanting to coast and maintain speed just by shifting lanes. And that I find extremely, not to say dangerous, because it's not that dangerous, but it's definitely unsettling, completely unnatural, and something I really dislike about that throttle. Now you can actually go in here and find the setting to reduce and cut off the adaptive regen braking, but it's really not easy to find. Yesterday I found it and I turned it off, but by default it comes back on. You have this button here for drive mode settings, right? So you click it one time and all the commonly switched on or switched off settings come here. There you go. Energy recovery in D. So by default it's in adaptive, but under low it's barely perceivable. My issue is, why don't you just put that up here, and instead of making it like one click, another click, and then you find it, right? I'm doing this while driving, it's a little bit difficult. So yeah, this digital interface, I like how cool it is, and I like that they put a lot of effort into designing a lot of elements, but I really think that they got in their own way in trying to create this digital experience. Now on to something I like, because this car has a lot of good things as well. It's not just me complaining. I like how this car drives. It's honestly super fun. It's possibly the fastest single motor electric vehicle that I've ever driven. Definitely the fastest single motor front wheel drive electric vehicle I've ever driven. The only cars that come to mind in that category are like the GWM Aura 07, which was really fun, but it was not that fast, not as fast as this for sure. And the BYD Atto 3, which is just boring to drive. I think the Dolphin is there as well, but I haven't driven that. So for electric vehicle with front wheel drive, this is definitely the best, bar none. really fun, very capable. It almost makes you forget that it's front wheel drive, and when you finally reach 170, you're just like, actually this is fast enough. I don't really need to go 200 or 180 or 190. It's already excessively fast. Not that I've actually driven that fast in this car. Definitely a solid driving vehicle. Let's give you something else that I did like. I like the design. It's a return to, oh look, we're at the Tesla Center. It's back to that simple rounded edges, minimal angles look from the early 2000s when BMW Group first took over Mini and wanted to take it into that premium upmarket territory while still keeping that fun compact nature. I think they recaptured that 2000s era Mini very well. A lot of rounded corners, very little chrome. In fact, I don't think there's any chrome. It's even got a little bit of playful lighting. So in front, when you come close, you don't even have to press the unlock button actually. But just to demonstrate, let's say I lock it, you can see all the effects. Oh, but look at that. It's really cool. And what I'm kind of neutral about is the over-designed elements on the back. You don't need to do all this ribbed nonsense on this thing, this parcel shelf. It's a cheap parcel shelf, you know. It's a cheap parcel shelf. It's a cheap parcel shelf. She shelves, partial shelves by the seashore. Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. Doing this doesn't add any value to anyone. But yeah, Mini wants to put design elements here, and for whatever reason, design elements here. I'm fairly neutral when it comes to all this nonsense. A lot of use of these canvas straps, which are probably some recycled biodegradable stuff. The boot is really small. There's no getting around that. This is the boot with the floor set to the low position. You can actually put it up one step. This kit velcros anywhere you want it, and you fold the seats down and you can actually raise this up so that it's a flat floor. And I could actually reach this from way up front, pull the seat down, grab my bag, and then pull the seat back up. No problem at all. It's a very small car, so no problem there at all. Charging speed is as follows. It's not the best in class, but it's definitely not the worst. The range is about 400 km. The interior design, I don't know if I like or dislike it. I think I'm leaning towards a bit of a dislike. Except for the screen, I really like the screen. This I cannot take because my elbow is down here scraping against this rough stuff. It's gonna scratch me one day lah if I'm using this every single day. And then not only that, it's kind of a greyish, light grey material. Imagine you got your cup of coffee here, right? And a little bit of it spilled over here. How are you gonna get that off, man? Another neither hate it nor love it part is the aircon in the center. This is an aircon vent, believe it or not. So left, right, up, down. I guess it gets out of the way, so that's fine, I guess. I think I'm okay with this as well. The power being a little inbuilt key that doesn't come out, and you got this as well. The gear selector. Yeah, I'm okay with the interior as a whole. Just a few nitpicks here and there, like this digital experience. You know, the first day I was driving the car, I had my signal on like this, and I was going pretty fast, so I was looking straight ahead. As you can see, there's no signal indication on the heads-up display. I was looking straight in front and looking at this thing here, and the music was blaring, so I did not hear this sound. And only after like 3 minutes, I looked over and I realized, oh, my signal stock has been on for 3 minutes. Having it off to the side there, yeah, it looks cool and all, but I don't get it. It's a colored heads-up display, so it should be able to show your signal light. I think they should update the system to be able to do that. 360 camera is good, no complaints there. The aircon controls, trying to find the adjustment to have it recirculate the air. I haven't bothered lah. There's a few moments where like I was definitely smelling something outside. Come on, I just want to see the. Just show it to me. Show me the climate control. Show me the climate control. Where is it? No, that's steering. Where? Where? No. How do I recirculate the air in this car? No, it's not. It's what was wrong with the way things were? What was wrong with having a button that recirculated the air in the car? I can't find it, and I don't want to use the stupid voice command, but let me try. God damn it. Screw it, I'm not doing it. And I guess to sign off, the price. I think the pricing is the part that I like the most. 193,000. Sounds like a lot, but you know, tax-free, you're going up against some of the top tier electric vehicles like the Teslas. That space is kind of crowded already, and having a car that is just pure fun and more focused on style and its iconic looks and a little bit of different flavor, I think that's refreshing. And under 200,000 for a premium brand is kind of reasonable. You don't get that anymore in Malaysia. Yes, of course, there's a lot of competition. You can get some really serious electric cars, really fast ones as well, like those Teslas down there, but would you really want to be associated with those people? I mean, look at them. Look at them. Yeah, I think that's it. Likes and dislikes. It's a small car. I also dislike that the doors sound like... Oh, it has decided to turn up. It's finally on. Now I can recirculate the air. That was so easy. Anyway, signing out.